Welcome, everyone.
It's already touched. Sorry.
All right, welcome everyone to season 10, episode 12 of The Wheel Reads. I just remembered as the countdown's going, Ian's going to be late tonight because he has swim practice. Yeah, swimming. Swim practice or swim meet. So yeah, Ian's coming. He's going to be late. I was like, where's Ian? Oh yeah, he said he's going to be late. Oh, yeah. Cool. But without further ado, we do have a guest tonight, so might as well just bring them on, right?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Hello.
Like that intro? Like that intro? It's fun.
I definitely have the same face as him right now.
Ben from Another Turning podcast. Yeah, so one half of the podcast. Your sister is your other half. Yes. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about what you guys do, and then I'll go into another.
Well, pretty much been on hiatus for a very long time. We started off with, before the show happened, we wanted to do prediction of how we thought they would do the show, how they would interpret it, and we were completely wrong about everything. And since the show came out, it's just been... Didn't do Wheel of Time stuff. She kept doing stuff on YouTube, BookTube related stuff for a while. Okay. And now we're just longtime fans. She interacts with people online a lot more in chat rooms and things like that. I just listen to the podcasts, go to the convention, and hang out with people.
Yeah. Ben and I have hung out at JordanCon before, so happy to have you on our show. I know we've been on your podcast before, years ago. So that was fun.
We love first-time readers, so we wanted to bring a couple different people on when we were doing it that were first-time readers, because I don't remember what it was like reading the books for the first time. So this is always exciting.
It's painstaking. I'm kidding.
Well, it's been so long since the last time I did a reread that this feels like a first-time read through again at this point. Well, that and because I never remember what goes on. I never remember what happens in Crossroads Twilight. We get to this book, like when we get to Knife of Dreams, I'm back on. Like I know what's happening. Like right now, I'm like I vaguely remember this stuff.
After about book 4, it all just blurs together for me. So I couldn't tell you what happens in what book until like the last 3.
Yeah, well, Knife of Dreams, I can tell you what happens in that one. But yeah, cool. So quick announcements. We did do a giveaway, and I need to pick a winner. And the winner is number 10. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn it, it's gonna be expensive. So congratulations to Waterholic Aussie. Yep,
I knew it.
In a book to Australia. Shipping's a bitch. You're welcome. So you should use your
NordVPN and become Australian and order through the Aussie Amazon.
I probably will. I probably will order through Australia. I'll probably use a VPN to do that. But yeah, so Waterholic Aussie, congratulations.
For NordVPN. You can do awesome things.
They do. If you go to our website, you can find links to how to download NordVPN and get really cool discounts and specials. They are a cool sponsor of ours. They definitely sponsor our channel. So go check it out. There's links on our website, thewheelreads.com. If you want NordVPN, it's what I use. Go check it out. You get some really cool, deep discounts. Because we're going deep. Right, Chris? We're going deep.
So deep. These chapters were so enthralling, and I even took notes.
Oh, look at that. It's like 1 page of notes. It's awesome.
That's it. That's all you get.
Let's see. I guess we can talk about personal life a little bit. You kind of stalled a little bit for Ian. Sure. Personal life. I went to a concert with Ian over the weekend.
Ooh.
That was fun. I went to see Dave Matthews Band.
I haven't heard anything from Dave Matthews in forever and a day.
Yeah, so I hadn't been a Dave concert. I was trying to do the math. It was either 05 or 07 was the last time I went. It might have been 07. But it's a long time ago. So I think it was a good strategy, a good concert. I had a good time. Maybe we should just ask Ian. Ian, how was the concert?
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
I hate you right now. Your beard is twice as long as it was last week.
Dude, it grows like Miracle Grow.
Blended red.
He's
Well,
allowed to have one.
I spilled some soup in it, and it just made it grow even more. So
Okay, that's the magic.
I just had to shave like 2 weeks ago. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you shaving?
well,
for?
God willing, the creek don't rise. I don't have to get back in uniform again. I'm technically not into contract until July, but almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a good time on the show though.
They're gonna pull you
we had a
right
good
out
time.
at the last minute.
I was exhausted on the way home. I thought I was gonna wreck, but I made it.
Dude, we drove all the way to King and Queen. When we left, I was like, I'll be fine. And then halfway there, I was like, this is a horrible idea. I was struggling.
Dude, by the time we got to the tunnel, I was like, I'm gonna wreck in the tunnel. I'm gonna tunnel.
You're gonna be that guy.
Like, I'm so tired. I'm too old for this crap. So yeah. Anyway, it was a good time. Hey, what's up?
How do you do?
The swim meet?
Yeah.
No, this was a meet. They crushed it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
As usual, not the fastest times for their events, but I was kind of watching across the board. This was a slow meet for a lot of people. Very, very few people cutting time, and sometimes that happens. You know, hot day, water's warm, whatever.
You need that cold water.
Yeah. But they did great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I do better in cold water too because I just want to get the heck out. So
there's actually physics behind it. Like you swim faster in cold water. You're more. It's less resistant. Hot water.
Yeah.
It's harder to move through.
hot water moves faster.
So like outdoor pools in the summertime, your times are always a lot slower than they are in like doing indoor pools where they keep the water cold on purpose. So you be faster.
Yep.
Yeah.
True story.
Noted.
Yep.
Just
so anyway,
take your word for it.
Fun things about swimming. As someone that swam varsity in high school and didn't swim a lot when I was younger. I don't swim hardly anymore. Yeah, so that was the concert. And then we had Father's Day, which was fun. Went over to my brother's house with my dad and my kids, and we had a good time. And that was my weekend. So what about you guys? What got you, Chris? Ian? Oh.
Well, I'll talk Father's Day since my kids are here and I can shame them. So I finally got the teenage Father's Day present from my son. Where he's like, "Your Father's Day present is my presence. Happy Father's Day." And I was like, ah. First of all, you found the secret on two levels. One, I would say for most dads, that's all we want. We want to hang out with you, especially if they're teenagers. So, winter. But also, if you could make some sort of pun or play on words to get your point across, like, dads eat that shit up. So that was perfect.
Oh yeah. Was that River you said?
Yeah, River. He's about to turn 15.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It paid off. It totally worked. I cut my eyes at him for a second, and then I was like, "Nah, that's good. That's good."
It's like these videos of father and son, like where like it's now their grandfather, and then you have like the son and then the grandson in the car together, and like the dad joke comes, it's like, "You take this one, son." Yes. It's like passing.
It's like a rites of passage.
And tells the dad joke. Yeah, it's great. Good times. How about you, Chris? What's going on?
So we had a yet another baby shower to attend / 2-year-old's birthday party. That was fun on Saturday. And then Sunday, of course, Father's Day, we celebrated Chanel's father and my father-in-law. We went and did brunch at a really cool spot. And then we have this mini bowling spot. The bowling balls are like the size of grapefruits. You don't really have like a run up.
Like duck
like
pin?
What?
Duck pin?
I've never heard of duck
Or
pin.
candle pin.
Yeah, so duck pin is like duck pin bowling. So you have like little small balls, and you throw them down. They're smaller pins.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. I never knew that existed. So
yeah, duck pin.
Do we have one in Newport News?
No, they have one in Portsmouth.
Oh, see, I don't go over the water.
The reason I know that's because in college they no one actually went to that bowling alley, but they ran an illegal poker ring in the back, and I used to go to that poker game.
Gotcha. Yeah, we did that for like hours because it wasn't wearing on the body, and we just sat there, and I would just literally stand there and literally throw the thing 3/4 of the way down the lane, and then it would. Yep, I thought about doing that too, and they were like, "No, do not shot put it."
We got kicked out of the Hollywood lanes before they closed down, Ian and I, so many times. That was real bowling.
Yes.
Often for doing crazy shenanigans with bowling balls.
It was usually for bowling in somebody else's lane on accident.
Air quotes accident. But no, we'd
Yep.
hike
I mean,
the
we
bowling ball
started
to
in our
each other
lane,
and
but
then
the
go,
ball
throw
did
it
not.
overhand down like an 8-pound bowling ball and like throw it all the way down the lane.
Shot put.
We lift Ian up and like swing it back and forth and slide him down the lane, and then he knocks down the pins and runs back. Yeah, they didn't like that.
Fun.
They kicked us
They're
out
not
a
a fan of that one.
They kicked us out a lot.
But they still needed your money, so they never banned you.
They never banned us, but they got kicked out for the night.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah, especially like the series, like league guys that are playing, then we go mess with them, and then we get in trouble for that.
Yeah. And then I
Also, it's very hard to sprint on a bowling lane. In case you were wondering,
It's very, very slippery.
I
It's
entered
very
a
hard to do.
branch leader position, so let's hope that happens for me.
It was a fun
So,
time.
Chris, how soon until you're hosting a baby shower?
Ooh.
That's a phenomenal question. We'll get there when we get there.
There you
But
go.
it's not for lack of trying.
I'll race you to that one.
I'm just messing with you.
No, we are enjoying the trying. How about that?
Dude, that's a very emotional
go.
question to ask, man.
Oh, well, yeah, I thought about it after I asked it, but then I was like, man, whatever.
Emotional damage.
I didn't mean to click it twice. Fun times. Good deal. So you guys want to talk about some Wheel of Time?
Does it have to be these chapters?
We can talk about something else too. We don't have to talk about these chapters, but I mean, we have a guest on that read these chapters, so I feel like we have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will
don't do
say-
it on my behalf.
They're good chapters.
They're good chapters.
They're okay. After last week, because last week there was a little bit of good stuff. And I was like, all right, here we go. And then this week it's like, nope, same book. Same book.
Yeah.
You got your hopes up.
We're
that
on
was your mistake.
21 a mark.
We have like one more episode and then we're done with this book, right?
It's pretty close. Let me go look at the spreadsheet.
Check the sheets, bro.
Check the
I
sheets.
don't know, I think my audiobook said an hour and a half left if I kept listening.
See, we have three
Yeah,
episodes.
see?
We have three. We have 3 episodes of this.
3.
3.
Why are you doing that to us?
I don't know. Torture.
Hey, the Red Rod came out this go around, so
Hey.
I mean, that's exciting.
Does your
well.
mom still have it?
Hey, his children.
We're not talking about that.
Oh, you
Yeah,
sure?
yeah. Kids read the card. Although River would think that's hilarious. I might have to tell him the story after this.
Still want to send that to Daily Green. That's a whole nother story. Anyways, let's see. So we're at Alvarin's point of view, which is fun. She returns to the tower.
After a month of
and
being away, she's quickly and quietly entering the tower through the
returns
library.
by gateway.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
So there's conversation in the last couple of chapters, hoping that the tower hasn't figured out how to travel yet.
Yep.
And then here she is traveling into the tower. We know she's not necessarily with the tower, but it kind of led me on that. Will she teach them something? Because in my mind, she's still at this point, literally the first 5 minutes of the chapter, first couple of pages, she still has a hold on the tower, and she's been away for a month, but coming back, she's going to find out that her plans are about to fall short. So she kind of needs to help get them back on track. So I was kind of thinking she was going to be like a catalyst, but not so much.
Yeah. I mean, she's still wondering or worried about all the Forsaken, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with her. She's trying to dark friend it up, but on the DL. At the same time, like you were saying, terrified of the fact that the rebels have discovered traveling as well. So, a lot of that talk. So, did I miss anything from this chapter? I think I covered everything.
Yeah, you pretty much got it all.
Remarks complete.
The whole point of the title of the chapter.
Go ahead, man.
What was the title?
The whole title of the chapter, a mark.
Yeah.
What any opinions on that? I mean,
I really
On the
didn't
chapter
think
title?
about-
What's the chapter title?
Yeah,
A mark.
A mark.
Not a Dan, not a Justin, not a John. It's Mark.
So, upon looking at the chapter in the beginning, I had zero idea. I thought maybe it was just her coming back with, or not her, but there was going to be literally somebody that needed to be like put to death. The end. But we quickly learned throughout the chapter that it has a completely, totally different meaning. And I mean, it really starts with Aviaran headed to the Amelin's chamber when she gets back and she's realizing like everything's eerily quiet. She's realizing that something's clearly going down. She starts getting very anxious and nervous. And there's a little bit of panic there for her. And she enters the chamber and she realizes she's like legitimately interrupting a conversation. And she's like, I told Elida not to have these type of conversations without me. And it's only been a month. And why does she feel like she can do this? And the look that Elida gave her and the smirk, it was that moment that I was like, huh.
Yeah. I mean, she's like, goes back to speaking to the sitters, like, whatever.
Yeah. I was like, maybe Aviaran is the mark. Like maybe she has now been marked as a dark friend here, and she's recognized as being Black Aja. And maybe in this time that we are now in the book, they have gone ahead and decided to speak to, and I say they, the people that are hunting down the Black Aja, have decided to speak to Elida about the fact that there are some Black Aja, and we're going to figure that out. Like that's where my mind went at this point. Like, man, they've gone to her and they've made this statement, and now she's put one and one together, and now Aviaran is like going to get it. Like that was.
I mean, I love this chapter. Just like, I know Elida is a hated character, but for her to have some power back and just lay the smack down there to Aviaran, I love it. One of my favorite scenes in this book.
Yeah,
I did have a moment where I was like, I'm not Team Elida, don't get me wrong, but I did have a moment where I was like, all right, maybe judge too harshly. Maybe it's back to what we originally talked about, that this is just an example of somebody trying to do what they think is the right thing and going about it their way. And as the reader, we haven't really enjoyed stuff she's done, but maybe she's not the bad guy.
Yeah,
like in the traditional sense of the bad guy.
And that I feel like she's going to continue to run the White Tower, and we're going to have Egwene kind of bowing down to her.
What do you think about the decree she makes that the Blue Aja no longer exists, and every citizen that follows that child, Egwene Elvire, must serve penance under my guidance before they're readmitted to any Aja?
That's the biggest problem, Chris, with your theory, I think. Because how do you carve out an entire Aja and not force civil war? Either she has to budge on that, or I don't know. I don't know how you run it there.
Because 7 is greater than 1. You know, 7 did eat 9.
That's why 6 was afraid.
But anyway.
Go ahead.
Nope, say what you're going to say.
I was going to keep going. So if you have a topic or have something else to say, then say it now.
I love the comment, I will make the tower into a weapon for Tarmangaiden. Like, this is why I feel like she's the right person. And yes, she got rid of a whole group. She got rid of the Blues. But
shame.
She's got the right mindset. And who's to say she won't show mercy and have some moment of like epiphany and say, you know what? I'm going to make these people realize that I am the Armelin that they need. And give pity on this lowly Egwene and the Blues.
You assume that fighting is the answer. And so you're rooting for the person that's preparing to fight.
Yeah.
Peace.
It is not until a mosquito lands on your testicles that you realize violence is not always the answer.
So after the sitters leave, Alviarin begins to speak to Elida, basically telling her that, she needs to get her stuff in check. And Elida's just like, first of all, I'm surprised you even came back. Second of all, your threats won't work. Like, nothing you're blackmailing. I don't care anymore. Like,
she's like, Corian's to take blame for everything regarding Rand, and Tovann is responsible for the Black Tower. She's like, at the end of the day, I got off on all of it.
And then Elida slaps Alviarin.
The shit out of her. She said she saw stars. I appreciated that moment.
Yeah. I wish I still had that slap. I got rid of the Will Smith slap, but anyway, I thought it was overused.
Bad Boys 4, and it was really good. So he's redeemed himself.
Yeah. So. But basically, she goes,
"Gotcha, bitch."
Gotcha, bitch.
At this point, what's your opinion on the chapter, Ben? Ben's like,
I love this chapter so far.
Yeah.
What was your
I'm
favorite
loving
part?
this chapter. Well, like I said, I love seeing.
Go ahead. You love what?
I love just how Alviarin getting put in her place in the beginning of this chapter.
Yeah.
Like, I hate Elida as much as the next person.
I'm going
But
to be
tell us
excited
how
for
it
that moment
ties into
Moraine
the
comes
end
back.
and why you like it.
What was that, Ian?
Yeah.
I said, tell us how it ties into the end of the whole series and why you like it from that perspective.
And moving on, after the slap, she says she can't wait to
He's
try.
He's going to do it. Go ahead. Tell us, Ben. Do you like that
no.
moment where Moraine comes back to life?
Oh, yeah,
Wait, what?
We're just going to play stuff to bleep it all out.
Yeah, of course.
That moment where Moraine comes back. Do you remember that?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
No idea what you're talking about.
Moraine's dead.
Moraine is dead. She's been dead since book 5. We're in book 10.
There's what? 3 more that she's going to be dead in?
Yeah. It's done.
Sure.
It's over. So it's like Pluto. It's done, mate. It's not a planet.
Oh, don't bring up Pluto. That makes me sad.
I know. But it is.
Did we ever determine what it was?
It's a dwarf planet. It's not a real planet.
Oh.
I mean, technically, there's bigger asteroids in the asteroid belt than Pluto. So
didn't they think
our moon's bigger than Pluto? Like, anyways,
why do we ever classify it as a planet to begin with?
Because some guy saw it with a telescope or some kind of device and was like, "I found a planet," and everyone said, "Yeah."
All you have to do.
For a while before the scientific community came out with the general consensus, that used to be kind of all you had to do. But anyway, on defining what a planet is, because then they found a bunch of more stuff and they're like, are these planets? Are these planets? And then they actually made a definition of what considered a planet, and Pluto does not fit the definition at all.
Look, I will stand on my soapbox for Pluto every day of the week.
Just because we have to have pi at the end.
There's another rock out there further than Pluto's bigger than Pluto that orbits around the sun. Anyway.
Look, I think it should just be defined as there's like a second asteroid belt past Pluto, and everything inside of that should be one set of planets. Everything past that should be another set of planets.
I'm just dark friending. I'm just dark friending. That's what I do.
I'm just saying we can't have pizza now, man. We can't have pizza.
Exactly.
That's the only reason why
exists. Moving on. So after saying that can't wait for Alviarin to be tried for treason, Alviarin pretty much leaves.
She panics. She freaks out. There's no leaving. She flies out the room.
Yeah, she leaves panicking and goes straight to her room, pulls out a red rod for
for comfort.
Well, I already called Messina, but yeah.
The 9-inch red rod of awesome.
Masana. Sorry, Masana. I'm Messina. Masana. Is it Masana? Yeah, Masana.
It's Masana.
Right?
Yes,
yeah.
It's Masana.
And only supposed to use in great times of emergency. So Masana shows up and she's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Elida knows. She knows a Black Aja. Like, this is horrible." And Masana's like, "Get yourself together. Like, she doesn't know shit."
There's a very interesting thing that was brought up at this.
Mm-hmm.
The standing flow.
Mm.
it says that at one point in time, the Angreals and Terangreals could be used by anyone, even if they could not channel, because of the standing flow. So that makes me wonder.
It's a Tesla type contraption that they used to have that would spread the power everywhere, just kind of humming in the background.
Yeah. Well, remember, we did have 2 very large statues that could like send power across the world. So it makes you wonder whether or not that had something to do with standing flow. And then it makes you wonder whether or not the power isn't a legitimate like power source that some people have like mutated to be able to tap into and others have not. It's not something mythical, but human created somehow.
Yeah.
I'm still of the camp where I think it's possible that anybody and everybody could channel.
We're seeing a lot more guys doing it.
But now the taint's cleansed. Clean.
Is it
called
clean?
so fresh and so clean? We found that out last book.
We assume it is, but in this book we find out that it may not be. Even though all the men are getting stronger in the tank. I mean,
so fresh and so clean.
Anyway.
No, they're ain't nobody dope as them.
No, not at all.
They're just so fresh and clean.
But
So yeah, basically, Masana goes on to start to punish Olivier for being ridiculous. But suddenly a shadow shows up. And
I thought it was pretty cool how he showed up. Now, why he was in armor and then wasn't in armor still baffles me.
Okay.
Like that part, why did he have to drop his armor after using his power? But anyway.
you don't get it?
No, what am I supposed to get? Help me.
Yeah.
He's about to punish Masana.
Yeah.
Oh, so he takes
Yeah.
He did strip her entirely. No clothes.
It's very implied.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Nope, Jordan's not that dirty in my mind. Like
Jordan?
He's not He's not Martin. Like, I think that's my issue. Is I think that Jordan is like a choir boy compared to Martin.
I mean, all the talk about
you must tie her down on a bed and spank her.
Jordan, really?
He even now it's making sense. He even asked Alviarin if she wanted to watch.
Yeah, and Alviarin just reaches the source and realizes that she can't touch it, and she's not shielded. It's just gone.
And she realizes that he is the Dark Lord just in a Murjal's body.
He's the head of the dark.
Yeah.
That's what his name literally means.
Yeah. But she said he is the Dark Lord himself, just in a Murjal's body. I found that very interesting.
After she wishes to watch the Great Lord, then marks Alviarin.
Now that like completely makes sense. Huh.
Jordan had his dark side.
Yeah, that poor woman.
So before the punishment's done, Alviarin flees the room.
And she left a red rod with him? Oh.
And she's petrified because the Great Lord has marked her.
Yes, that was his last act. He set her off to go find those that are rooting out his Black Aja. It's about to be a rude awakening for her because it's like half the people in the daggone tower.
Yeah.
So
it's a little dark towards the end of the chapter there. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
Just the end of that chapter.
So it was the end of this chapter. So any thoughts? Anything we missed? Anything you guys want to talk about?
No, you just blew my mind because I didn't put Jordan in that camp of having somebody. Well, he has had Matt raped multiple times, so I shouldn't be surprised by
There's
that.
a couple things.
Robert Jordan are friends, so I mean that's
there should have been a clue there. In my mind, he's the choir boy of the group.
He just fades to black all the time.
He does, but he's still there. It just it cuts away. I mean, there's plenty of scenes of essay happening throughout the books. I mean, more gays and the white cloaks with is it
Aldo.
Yeah, with Aldo.
Mhm.
That
Just
happens.
didn't think about it that way.
Even in the first book, like things were being done to Rand's mom and at the end of the world, like that were pretty gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never dismiss all the rape that's happening. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it happening. It just happens. It fades to black, so you don't. It doesn't. He doesn't explain it in detail like George R. R. Martin does, but it's happening. Anyway, yeah, not comfortable thing to talk about. But,
my last kind of question statement is, by receiving this mark, I know it gives her more authority, but does she end up with more power? And or how is that authority recognized by others in the tower? I know she's like, what if I look in the mirror? Am I gonna see a mark? Or when people look at me, are they gonna see a mark if they're Black Asha? Like how? I'm just as confused with that as she is, I should say. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So if Shadar Haran is the hand of the dark, the Great Lord, who is the hand of the Creator?
Bella.
I guess it'd be Rand.
It's the first time I've seen that. I've only heard it before.
It's glorious. Anyway, so thank you, Way to Leaf, for supplying us a Bella.
And tune into the Way of the Leaf because they have at this point many variations of that, and there are some really good ones.
There are heavy metal one. There's like the disco. There's all sorts of ones. It's insane. So you guys ready for chapter 22?
Let's go.
One answer.
Go.
Just one.
If you want it, you can get it.
All right. So Pavara. So it's Pavara and Tarna, and they're hanging out in Pavara's room, waiting for the accepted Pedra. You guys remember all these names, by the way.
Sure. That's exactly
all important.
And they're having cake and wine. Speaking of wine,
great combination. Phenomenal combination.
Wine's good. I'm drinking wine tonight, guys. It's Decoy by Cabsop.
Ooh.
Anyway, so yeah, when Pedra leaves, Pavar remarks that Pedra will be raised to Aes Sedai soon. But Tarna doesn't think she will join the Red Aja. Dun dun dun. Because they're red. And they're talking about what the red should do next. And they're talking about men. Because apparently this doesn't test. This chapter does not pass the Bechdel test, because you have women having conversations about men. If you're not familiar with the Bechdel test, it's a way that you figure out whether movies have any feminist qualities based on the fact that two women have to have a conversation independently and not talk about a man. There are plenty of movies out there that do not pass the test.
Never thought about it.
Lots of new things
Lord of the Rings passes only because there's one line where a little girl turns to her mom and she's like, "Am I safe, Mom?" And that's the only line in all of Lord of the Rings where that happens. Other than that, it's a woman talking to a man, or a man talking to a woman, or two women talking about men. Like it's literally just barely
a new thing that I'm going to be looking for now whenever I watch a movie.
Yep. It's called the Bechdel test. Anyway, fun times. I have a bunch of comments going on.
Anyway,
it's
so
disturbing by how much it's actually how many movies do not pass. But anyway, so so they're talking about what to do with men and about bonding orders.
It's like Pavara is a different breed of person, and so that's what she's being addressed here. She believes in learning through silence, which is an amazing thing, because as I have gathered, many Aes Sedai do not like to listen much. They all want to have their opinions heard, because they're all powerful and they get to tap into the power and use it to their advantage. But she's understanding that there's having real conversation about Reds, essentially taking on all the Ashaman as warders.
Right.
And that, they're gonna have to take on multiple to make it work.
Because they're worried about the Ashaman gaining more and more power, because even if the numbers are inflated a little bit by how big that number is from the reports they're hearing, it's a problem. And they're like, what's the solution? Well, we can at least try to control them by bonding them. You can't kill them. Because it's a decree from Rand, and they've agreed to that.
I have a rather abstract question. Do we think the Tower Aes Sedai truly believe that, like, they're still in control, that they're in charge, they're still, like, the dominant power of this world?
I think they're delusional.
Or do they believe that they need to be, have to be? Because I feel like they still think they are. But there's been plenty of evidence that, like, they should realize they're not.
I'd say little column A, little column B.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to Ashaman, I guess it's fair that it's a little bit of column A, only because they've been so fearful of men. They haven't had a lot of opportunity to interact with them. So they don't really know much about them at all. But I think it's way past that point of no return. They're not going to walk up to them and just take charge. It's going to have to be a negotiation.
What do you think about their logic that the Reds should be the ones to bond them because they are already familiar with how to deal with men who can channel?
Ben, what do you think about that?
What about the Reds doing it?
Yeah, what's your thought?
I mean, I think it's a good idea for the Reds since their job used to be to hunt down and gentlemen, so they should change their job to hunting down men to bond them, I guess.
Do you
need a new job?
Do you like bondage?
If you're on board with the Aes Sedai, the female Aes Sedai, like being in charge of the show, but I just think doing that, you're going to start the relationship on a very bad foot. It's going to be very adversarial, and that's not going to end well. You're going to get to that tipping point real quick. So instead of working with them or even trying to control them, I think some of the best examples we've seen of people actually being able to influence people have been Moraine and Cadsuane. And Moraine learned it the hard way. Cadsuane just seems very good at it, at nudging people and nudging Rand and knowing that, in some ways she could have a firm grip, and in other ways she needs to be very careful how she pushes and pulls them to get him to do certain things.
I don't mind.
Yeah. How she,
I'm winking at you. You said nudge. You said nudge the same as wink to a blind man. Anyways, fun times. So
man, I had something to say, but it left me that quick when I started being childish. It's horrible being in my mind sometimes.
Poker face Ben, they're fishing. Sure.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Honestly, I just tuned Ian out and just refilled my wine glass. So that's all I do. And they're doing Ian starts going on the fishing expeditions. I have no idea what he just said at all.
I only re-listened up to these chapters, so I can't remember what happens after these ones anyways. So
yeah.
Oh,
just don't tell him Batman.
Well,
it's a game of
when
Stones,
the whole multiverse thing happens.
And Spider-Man comes in. It's crazy. Yeah. It's just crazy.
That would be crazy.
It would be. It's a crazy crossover. And then we got some Stormlight crossover and some Mistborn. It's this crazy like Avengers assemble.
I would appreciate
at the end.
100%.
Yeah. At the very, very end of the battle, like, Captain America reaches up and grabs Thor's hammer. And like it's just
see, now we're bringing in Stormlight. I don't want to spoil that.
Yeah. Well, Chris is all the way through caught up in Stormlight. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Man, Stormlight's phenomenal. Yeah, if Boyd made a guest appearance in this series, that would be cool. That would be awesome.
Boyd is in every series.
Yeah, Boyd's everywhere. What are you talking about?
Yeah. That's very true.
So yeah, Red Sisters. Yep. The two of them sit for a while Pavar reaches into her belt pouch and pulls out a message. She tells Tarna they'll send by one of her agents in Karian. They read the message, and it's most likely about Ashman bonding Aes Sedai in the Black Tower.
That's what I was going to say. I'm surprised that we haven't created a super warder yet. Like, I expected that Rand would like double up in power or have some super healing.
Time out real fast. There's like blood curling screams come upstairs. So Ben, do you want to host for a little bit while I be right back? Kids.
Okay. I don't know what I'm hosting, but
I got you.
We'll continue the conversation.
You got it.
I have many questions for you, Benjamin.
No, I'm really curious about this whole super warder concept.
So yeah, like it kind of is still throwing me a little bit because we know, or at least my assumption and impression is that when a Aes Sedai makes a male a warder, he gets some healing ability. He becomes faster. He becomes stronger. He's enhanced.
He gets plussed up.
Yeah, but
his stats get lifted.
Rand hasn't been plussed up yet. Like, what's
maybe because he's a channeler. I mean, have any of the Ashman that have been bonded really shown any?
Well, we got one in the next chapter in Ornaments. We do have a male channeler who's getting stronger in the power, but we don't know if that's due to the link or if it's due to the taint being cleansed. Or because,
and to be fair, he's fighting land, so he never stood a chance, anyways.
Yeah, but he's.
I mean, I like this concept though.
Yeah, like I'm curious as to why, and it may be that one power is kind of canceling the other. I don't know.
Maybe if every Aes Sedai all bonded the same man, how strong would he be?
Oh,
that'd be pretty sick. Well, we have an opportunity to see that. The Rand example isn't a perfect example because he hasn't really spent time around him, and I think there needs to be proximity for these plus ups to happen. And I don't know if that's from the reading or just in my mind. It might be influenced by the show too, because in the show you could kind of see the weaves coming off the Aes Sedai and kind of working with their warder, and they're next to each other. So maybe that's what's making me think this. But
so the Aes Sedai is like a battery for the warder.
Yeah, and there needs to be a little proximity
in season 1.
Yeah.
Well, season 2.
Well, I think in season 1 there's a little bit of fight scenes where you can kind of see the weaves coming off of them and working with the warders. So, anywho, that's my theory. So maybe Rand already has the ability to get plussed up big time with Avienda and Elaine.
Well, he's also
and who's the one begins with the A or something? That rape bonded him.
Who rape bonded Rand? Who
yeah. But he's been avoiding her. And when they've been together talking, it's not like they've been cooperative. So we haven't I say all that to say your theory is not eliminated yet. Just because we have some examples of a bond between, male, female channelers, whatever. I think you could be onto something.
Yeah. I also found it interesting. I know we're kind of hopping to the next chapter a little bit in there, but Rand is plagued by a wound that never heals. Maybe the warder bond lasts. Oh, see, that's the type of thinking that I need to get back to, because I like that thought process. Yes, maybe. But then again, Zulu, you keep up very well. You might be just trying to throw me completely off, but I like that.
I've been so focused on the hope that all of these ladies being bonded with Rand is going to help stabilize him emotionally that I haven't even really put a lot of thought into the physical part. But yeah,
I mean,
I have a question for you. You had 3 wives. You think he'd be emotionally stable?
I don't know. My experience having the emotions of 3 women in my head would do the opposite of stabilize me.
Yeah, do you think having 3 wives would stabilize you?
All right,
this is nothing my wife phenomenal human being. So let me just put that out there. She puts up with a
And-
lot of crap.
Instead of saying bonded to females or these wives or whatever, let me just say bonded to people that aren't as mentally and emotionally tortured as he is currently. They still act as some sort of grounding rod. So if he were bonded with like a bunch of dudes, if that was possible, and they had an emotional connection to him as well, and they were in a better mental state, maybe they can help,
it's his fault.
Balance him out.
His fault. He's not husbanding very well.
Yeah.
He's like a military man. He finds a different one, or a Navy guy finds a different
maybe a
one.
man. He's definitely a.
Oh yeah, well he's. Men is getting worn.
I mean,
out.
with that, I think it really comes down to how good the relationship is, the communication. You don't even need the bond. If you have 3 people in your life that you're close to, they can ground you. The bond just might make it stronger. Who knows?
Like this podcast.
What?
Yeah.
Like this.
It has been for certain periods of my life. So yeah, I'll co-sign on that.
Yeah, thank you.
There's definitely
we needed you
look.
tonight.
There's been nights I have not wanted to do this show, but I wanted to see you guys and talk to you. So that should tell you something.
Yeah,
that's me listening to podcasts. It really helps.
Yeah.
And then we go on to Christmas.
Then we do ornaments.
How
chapter 23. Chapter 3, ornaments.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Christmas in July. I thought we were finally planning.
No.
Man,
Cadsuane.
no,
We're with Kitty Cat. We're with Kitty Cat.
Kitty Cat.
Kitty Cat.
I don't know what to think of her. Because somebody else said she could be a dark friend. And there are moments where I'm like, she is evil, but she's not a dark friend.
Well, let's talk about this chapter. So Cadsuane comes into is in her rooms alone, and Varen comes in to talk to her.
Yeah.
Varen. Yeah. So Varen tells Cadsuane that the sea folk are all in tier. And Cadsuane, after assuring Cadsuane that she didn't go near the stone, all that other stuff, just gives a kind of report. Hareen has gone rushing out the ships as soon as she can hire a boat, expecting to declare the mistress of ships and set everything right.
And Min is like, I never told her when she was going to become mistress. I hate the fact that she's doing this. She's going to look like such an idiot because she's going to go out there and try to lay claim, and it's not going to happen. And she's going to blame me, and then eventually she's going to become captain.
Yeah,
and she's going to forget all about it.
Yeah. And then while they're having this whole conversation, Min comes in. It's like, hey, Cadsuane, Rand wants to talk to you right now. And Cadsuane's like, I'll talk to him when I'm ready to.
She said, but tell him I said that in a kind way. I don't want him upset with me.
Yeah. Which is different from Cadsuane like 2 books ago. Because Cadsuane 2 books ago is like, F you. I do what I want.
They're playing each other, and they're also warming up to each other a little bit, but they're still doing these little power struggles tit for tat. I think Cadsuane's winning though.
Yeah.
agree.
And Cadsuane and Varen, they speak a little bit longer about random men and about the High Lords of Tyr. Cadsuane finally tells Varen that she must go see Rand and kind of ends that conversation. But yeah, it's an interesting interchange between Varen and Cadsuane, definitely. There's some just the aloofness of Varen, but then Cadsuane kind of like, I guess, thinks on it, thinking that Varen's maybe not as vague as she pretends to be, and things like that.
That was the part that I caught, was Cadsuane is not feeding into Varen's facade.
Yeah.
She's like, you can pretend all you want with everybody else that you are completely aloof because of the color of your robes, but I'm not the one to be trifled with. And I know that you know more. And I know that you're only letting on to half of what you know.
Interesting question here from Skeeter. How would a male-male bond compare to a female-female bond that we've seen?
Well, see, with the men, they could like get physical without any aid, and
maybe they could get physical.
Bond. Do I have to explain?
It would turn into a very boring book, because when you do the chapters where it's male-male bond, they're just sitting around complaining that there's no sandwiches. And then when you go to the chapter with the female-female bond, They're just like all dumbfounded, like, what are we going to do with all these sandwiches?
Classic.
And we just got canceled. Thanks, Ian. We're not Eminem. We can't do this crap, all right?
How to answer that? Actually, like, we haven't seen a male bond yet, but now that the taint is clean, we might see some action. You know, you might they may be more enticed to try to link, and
we could get a male and a female body bonding with a male. That might be coming pretty soon with the different strategies that are out there.
True.
That could happen.
But when the Oshmen bond the females, don't they kiss them? So wouldn't it have to be a little bit of a? But I don't know if that's just a little thing they do. Just
that was the point that I was making. Is that it could be more physical if the male and male bonded.
I think when it happens, they say that's how they're taught because it started so they could bond their wives. So
gotcha.
It was a
it was just a tick, or not tick, but tradition. Not needed, but yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see why a male would be any different than female.
Yeah, I don't see the female male being any different than the female, except they sense each other's emotions. Well, again, the female bond, we haven't seen any power-ups either.
Yeah.
Quite to the contrary. I mean, we see that I know this is a consequence of her being pulled into the world too soon, but Brigitte is getting weaker. Yeah, see, I was actually thinking another connection, Skeeter, but yours works too.
Yeah, docking. There's be some docking going on.
Somebody's on the same page. Anyway, we haven't seen any major power-ups with the female bond, so maybe it's not worth bonding with somebody of the same.
I mean, we've only seen potential weaknesses because there's the whole mirroring of emotions thing that happens.
Yeah. I think you need the yin and yang for additional strength. So
okay.
Yeah, but if we're talking just about the emotional transfer, let's talk about the Aes Sedai Warder bond that's been around for a while, specifically Moraine and Lan, and how they could walk into a room, into a situation, and not have to say anything to each other, and they're still communicating. They know what each other is thinking and feeling.
Oh,
so
Zul coming in with the meta. 2 males cannot link without females.
Technically, that makes sense because when you do the docking motion, Alan, you can see the fallacy there.
Oh, it depends if one's circumcised, the other one's not. I mean, there's definitely.
Oh.
You also have two orifices. Men have 2 orifices, so you can definitely.
Ian just left.
We're getting canceled after this one for sure.
Anyways, let's go moving on.
Man, how do you have such a straight face? He's like,
it's just. Look, I'm sitting in an 86-degree apartment right now. I have no energy for anything.
Oh man,
dude, he's trying not to move right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
F it, bond the whole town. I meant the female bond is regarded as unusual in kind of sexist way. Yeah, basically, we got there. Okay, yeah. Is that an elf on Ian's wall? Ian, is that elf behind you? It's a nutcracker.
It's a nutcracker. Oh, I keep my Christian like this. It's not just here. I'm too lazy to get my laptop out. I mean, you guys have seen that in the Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
But
keep it up year round. Christmas tree.
I keep my little mini Christmas tree out all year long.
That's dope.
It's always Christmas.
And then on my mantle, let's see if I can angle this right. I've got my Christmas decorations and candles and stuff. Yeah.
Now, is that because you're really sentimental Christmas, or are you just lazy?
No, I like. You should remember this. My mom would want to put the Christmas tree up like right after New Year's, and I would beg to have the CTR. One year, it might have been our senior year of high school. I kept the CTR going until like March, until finally my mom was like, "That's it, put it away."
Yeah, CTR Christmas tree room.
Yeah, I want a house big enough so I have a room literally just dedicated to Christmas. I don't want it to be the holiday room that switches every holiday. I wanted a Christmas room all year long.
I do. It's called my attic, where I have all the boxes of Christmas stuff in there.
No, I want if I'm having some kind of day, and I'm gonna have a separate mini split in there so we can make it extra cold. Like it'll be like 55 degrees in there, so you have to put a sweater on and get all bundled up. And if I'm having a one of those days, I can just go in there, sip on a hot toddy, read a book, have some Christmas music playing in the background. Yeah.
I mean, I can appreciate that.
What's the hot wine? The German hot wine you drink during Christmas time?
Glühwein.
Yeah.
Come on, it's
I mean, I could appreciate the idea of a room that's like sub 40 all year round.
Yeah. I bet right now you're thinking about it.
Oh yeah, I just want to go in a deep freezer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So where were we? So Men leaves. Varen talks a little bit longer. Cadsuane. Let's see. Nisoon shows up. And they go discussing animals in the drowned lands. Cadsuane is troubled. Anyway, that Nisoon supports Elida and Varen supports Egwene, so there's a little tension going on there. Get some of that.
Yep.
Then
we learn a little bit about her ornaments too. We can't skip that. We kind of have, but on her way to seeing Rand, we learn that like she has 3 that she doesn't even know what they do. She has a star that will tell her when there's men channeling. What was the other one? There's one more that she told. I can't remember.
She's got a well.
Yeah.
That's true. She has the wells. So it's interesting.
Does she have a little bird or something like that? I think it's the well.
Yeah. So there are things in her hair though that she has no idea what they do, and she's still wearing them. So that's a little like. But then she also talks about how she realizes that men used to be called Aes Sedai.
Yep.
And so there was that conversation. So a little bit of history given to us.
It wasn't a conversation. Somebody noted or thought about the men used to be called Aes Sedai, and then she was like, "That's weird," and that was it.
Yeah.
How much of a?
Yep.
Not to be argumentative.
So
it was just. Yeah, I know we're trying to pull stuff out of this book, but it was another one of those things where it's like we were reminded of something, and then they just went, "Huh, it's neat."
Yep.
You can tell because the way it is.
Oh, I love this one comment right now that says, Cadsuane's ornaments, she's thinking Christmas too, just like Ian. Something along those lines.
Yeah,
100%. So Cadsuane goes to Rand. She goes past the warders, and Lan and Jahar are fighting. And Lan's winning every single time because Lan's the man. And she just quickly notices that. There's a couple other Aes Sedai there. They're looking at some of the Ashman to bond and things like that. They talk about the taint.
And they also talk about how she's the other woman who has been such a controlling figure with her warders is now kind of afraid of a man. Not afraid, that's not the right way. So she's apprehensive about her new order.
Right. I think she's still feeling kind of that loss from the previous one too. So
yeah. And she mentions the symbolism of Rand giving him the pendant and how he took so much pride in that. And she's like, we need our warders to only take from us and be essentially dependent is what it is. It's a dependency.
Right.
They're sounding like Sean Chan. I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's some Sean Chan shit right there.
And maybe that's how there's like the doubling of the power and the additional strength as you kind of give yourself fully to the Aes Sedai, because then you become a tool and maybe then you're able to tap in. But until then, you're too individual.
I don't know. I just really don't like this.
Yeah.
Don't like it at all.
We also see Nynaeve for like a hot second as well. She's just watching
being a giddy girl watching Liam, and you know, she's really kind of declined in my mind.
Yeah. Well,
she's no longer.
She just cleansed the tank. Give her some. Give her a second.
She's resting.
Give her a second. She just cleansed the tank.
1,000. All right, Nynaeve, do something. Poke.
Yeah.
Well, they pointed out that Nynaeve's ornament is more powerful than Cadsuane's ornament.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Whatever that means.
Whatever. Yeah. So Cadsuane finally gets to Rand's room. It's being guarded by Alvina and Elsa. Elsa tells her Rand is seeing someone and tries to keep her out, but that doesn't really work. Yeah, Cadsuane comes in the room and Rand's actually really polite. Yeah, it's actually just a little cordial.
Oh yeah, finally got him understanding.
Yeah, offers her a chair and some wine, and you know, they talk a little bit. And
she's very wary of him though, because she doesn't know whether or not he's testing her or whether or not he's being truthful. So she realizes that she's got kind of a task ahead of her dealing with him.
Yeah. But yeah, they talk about a bunch of other stuff. Talk about some of the younger men that are looking to be tested to become Ashaman.
Including the brother of one person she killed out of mercy.
Yeah. And then they start talking about Sanchen, the ever victorious army.
Rand's like, I have to be as good as a whole people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is.
To feel like everybody that you're fighting against is more experienced and is more capable than you.
It's always tough when you're going against an enemy that like has a cool name, like Ever Victorious Army, or like the Persian Immortals. Like they're called the Immortals.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them that like they'd all wear the same armor, so you kill like one line, and it looked like the same person is popping back up because there's just so many in the exact same armor marching forward. It looked like there was just a
little bit depressing.
It can be. Good old Persia. Yeah. And if you've seen 300, it is not historically accurate at all. So I don't know why I brought it up, but that's like the biggest depiction.
But it's awesome.
It is awesome, but not historically accurate.
Don't you talk bad, blaspheme against that movie?
It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
It's great.
It's just not historically accurate. That's neither here nor there. There was a stand at Thermopylae. This one at the pass, and it didn't end well for the Spartans. It didn't end well in the movie either. But yeah,
it wasn't glorious. Gotcha.
Yeah. They didn't go into battle like with their shirts off and no armor at all either.
It did kind of spark a greater resistance from the rest of the Greeks.
Yeah.
But they didn't make much of a stand. It was pretty bad.
Yep. So anyway, all that's weights on Rand's shoulders. Then we get to let's see, Erin announcing that her 2 warders were left behind in Kyrian. Someone is traveling with them.
They're traveling with someone, and they're
traveling with someone because suddenly
they're on their way.
Yeah.
And there was another one.
Theories.
Warders on their way. So there are multiple warders coming back. I don't know if it's trouble. I just want to know who they're traveling with. It's Moraine.
Well, any theories?
Wait, where were they coming from again? Before I throw my theory out there?
Kyrian.
Mm-hmm.
It's Moraine.
I would love for it to be Moraine popping back. If Moraine comes back, then this becomes the best book of the series. Hands down.
Watch it be your fiance.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah.
Because she did come back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there was some kind of... I mean, so things aren't just going to keep happening peacefully, as Rand's off doing other things. So maybe stuff he set in place there is just totally imploded. You know, somebody's taken over there. There's probably going to be chaos there, and that's going to be another place where we have to go back to and fight some more.
Sure.
I don't know, I'm just spitballing here.
Yep. I'm listening to you. Sure.
Rand doesn't have time for all that. We have Tom and Gaiden to get to.
Well, how about this though? So when he cleansed the taint, we find that something's taken away. There's this massive pit. Shadow Logoth is gone, right? But we haven't seen enough around the rest of the world of what might have happened. Maybe in the process of cleansing the taint, something was added too. So, where were these giant statues? Was one of them near Carian?
Yes, one's outside of Carian.
Yes. Okay,
the
so
other
maybe
one's
that.
in Chalmunkin.
Yeah, maybe it has something to do with that statue. Maybe something happened and they're racing back to tell the Aes Sedai, be like, yo, something crazy's happening. Yeah. Oh, so maybe he did flick the switch and there's like that background noise of like constant power radiating around. So maybe he turned that on.
Maybe
it has something to do with the statues.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But for all of them to be coming back at once from the same place, same direction, like there's big news coming.
Something's about to happen. That's how we end this chapter, though. Just something's about to happen, and that's how we end the chapter for tonight. So
that's how every chapter of this entire book has ended. Something's about to happen. Tune in next time.
Tune in next time. So, any final thoughts on these chapters?
No, they were pleasant. I'll say that much.
Okay.
I mean, I had a couple things on this chapter. One that I think is really interesting, and it stood out to me, was when Cadsuane's talking about her ornaments. She collected them one at a time, it seems, from the one line she said. When she was talking about that brother she killed or gentled, I think she said that's when she started collecting the ornaments.
10 years after that.
But, and then,
so she
like I said,
is she heisting these off of dead people after she whacks them?
Well, she's not
killing them.
I'm stealing them.
I mean, I remember her saying that, but I didn't really connect the dot until you said it that way. Like,
me neither.
Why would Jordan mention it like that? If the connection wasn't she was collecting them there. Yeah.
Ooh,
and the other thing, like
how you make it her angriage, you steal a piece of the soul of the person you still. Duplicating one is different, but maybe making the initial one, if it's still a piece of somebody's soul.
Then another thing I really felt this time listening to the book, because for you too, this is your first time, but when you reread these books in your different places in life, that whole concept of controlling the warders really bothers me a lot now. The idea of how controlling she is and treating him like a child. For anybody out there who knows people who have been in situations like that as adults with other adults, it hit differently now because of things I've learned, life experiences.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I love about these books.
Yeah, they hit different depending where you're at. I will say also, we were led to believe, the first relationship we saw was Moraine and Lan. And while they had their conflict, it felt like, all things considered, kind of healthy relationship conflict, it didn't seem as negative. But yeah, as we've gotten perspective and heard comments of other Aes Sedai and how they view their relationship with warders, it is not, the Moraine Land thing seems like the exception, not the rule, in a very negative way.
Problematic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are just my two little things that stood out in this chapter.
Cool.
I think that's why the Reds were so much against the Blues. Maybe all the Blues treated their men better, but
yeah,
the Reds clearly don't even want them around. So maybe that's part of the huge conflict.
Yeah,
why Elyda got rid of them. On top of the fact that she has it out for Swan and.
So real fast, favorite character. Let's go.
Cadsuane.
Who stole it?
Stuck. That was gonna be mine.
She's actually really gonna have to mess up to not be my favorite when she shows up.
I'm gonna give it Aviarin.
Aviarin, okay, for sure. I'll give it to Lida.
Oh,
For
you know
reaching
what?
back like
She
a pimp and
deserves.
slapping the hoe. No.
Yeah.
She deserves a nod.
Because the boys in the hood are always talking that
I mean,
trash.
just
The
because she's
fact-
in the chapters, I'd go with Min. She's my favorite in the books, so she's in these chapters.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
I think Elida is a pretty solid pick, mostly because of all the characters we had in these chapters, the one that had the greatest effect on me was her.
Mhm.
Because, like I said,
Mhm.
I'm kind of open to the possibility again that she's not all bad.
Yeah.
You know, I say that with a question mark and shrugging of shoulders. You know,
Poop in a pancake, shrugging the shoulders.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So next week we're doing 3 chapters again. 3. 1, 2, 3. So that'll be chapter 24, a strengthening storm. A strengthening storm. When to wear jewels. And so Haber. And so Haber.
Like and so have her.
Yeah. SOHABOR. So Haber. They're inside. So Haber. Whoever the chapters
Whoever
about.
they are.
Whoever they are. They're in there. They are in there. So fun times.
I think they just missed the R. Maybe it's supposed to be Harvard.
Maybe it's supposed to be Harbor. Yeah. I used to say Harbor when I read it first time, actually.
I think everybody does.
Yeah. It's Harbor. Anyway. So yeah. Anyway. Thank you, Ben, for coming joining us.
Yeah.
I was glad to be on. Lots of fun.
Yeah. So
spoilers though. Give me one spoiler before you leave.
one spoiler. Batman nukes Gotham City in the end. Sorry.
Hoyd appears in the last book by a different name.
that's believable. That's believable.
It's my new
He's
pet
probably in
theory.
this book by a different name.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's there in our hearts. Just like tall mayonnaise.
Yeah.
There's a certain character I think Hoyd is, and that's my theory now, and it's a very mysterious character.
Ooh.
I don't know if you got that, Alan, but that's my new fun pet theory.
That's fun. Yeah. That's
Is it
fun.
somebody we've met yet?
Technically, yes. And technically, no.
Oh. Now
So-
you piqued my interest.
So technically, yes, in that someone that's been on our show has had their name in their name. And technically, no, because I don't think they've appeared in the books yet. They might have.
It's
I don't
the
know.
old man that was sitting across the street that was talking to Matt. That's Hoyd.
No, but he's traveling with Matt now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's Hoyd.
He's Hoyd. Okay. That's
Why
interesting. Anyway, thank you, Ben, for coming on. You can find another Turning podcast, even though they're kind of a hiatus, but you can still find their social medias everywhere. And Ben's sister will probably answer if you DM them. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's videos on YouTube under the same name.
There's videos on YouTube. You can do all that cool stuff. If nothing else, go see him at a con. Ben and his sister are around normally. She dealt poker hands at my poker table for JoyCon, so I hung
She
out for a hot-
volunteers. I smoke and drink.
Yeah,
Ooh.
sounds good. And no things.
That's how I volunteer.
Yeah, and no things. But how we can be found is at thewheelreads.com. Is a awesome website where you can find links to all sorts of cool stuff like Patreon and support us that way. Our merchandise, our Discord, our social media, or just listen to episodes, all the cool stuff. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. You know, it feeds the algorithm gods if you comment too. Just drop a line, say like, this show sucks. It helps the algorithms when you say that. So any interaction helps. So please do so. If you guys want to see more of Ian and Chris tonight, hop on over to The Way to Leaf because they are starting in 5 minutes. So we're going to hop over there and they will be having fun. So that is all I think I got for this week. So
Until next time.
Peace.
okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Wheel Reads.
Until next time.
Bye.
Get your Coast Guard certified life-saving device ready and strapped on.
Oh, where are we doing tonight?
What kind of strap on you talking about? Sure.